Let me ask you what you think could be the real threat for something like a Policybazaar, because you are the dominant player right now. But everybody I speak to in the fintech universe say that we are also going to do insurance, whether it's a big payments company or a digital credit company. Everybody, and these people may not have your experience with insurance, but they reach a lot of people. They have huge number of customer touch points. You cannot deny that. Do you think your business could become a commodity over a period of time and you may not be able to make as much profit out of it? Is that a risk?
I think these are not sales categories and they get misunderstood. They are very high education categories, very high disclosure categories, and fairly involved categories. They also require a lot of trust, a lot of hand-holding, a lot of customer education, both in terms of brand and in terms of operations. I think these are specialized categories. Now, what people want is they want a convenience play. These are not yet convenient categories, and very difficult to make them convenient categories because even 1-2% fraudulent customers will spoil the entire convenience for everybody. You will not be able to provide, the moment your claims ratio goes beyond 100%, you won't be able to provide a convenient experience to the consumers. And so you have to be circumspect about this one. Now, I do believe market will be expanded. You know, things like motor insurance, two-wheeler insurance, some of the other kind of categories will certainly happen through various data lakes and financial products. But I'll eventually ask you one simple question, Udayan. If you ask them, why do they want to do insurance? Somewhere the answer would be, in my core business, I'm not able to make profit, so I want to do insurance for profits. Somewhere you will find that it would reek of that answer, because there's a lot of profitability in insurance, right? If you ask me why I do insurance, that's not the reason I do insurance. I do insurance because there is a genuine lack of health and life insurance in the country. And I think that is somewhere where the answer really lies, because if you believe this area does not require specialization at all, and it's something where, you know, like hotcakes people will buy, then of course you don't need a specialist.
Okay, let me turn this question around, because it's not only fintechs. I take your point about them not making money in payments business and therefore trying to sell insurance. That point is taken. What about the guys you sell yourself? I mean, you know, the private insurance companies. What if they wake up and say, hey, why do I need to give Policybazaar this money? Why don't I strengthen my own online platform and sell directly? Which a couple of private insurers have started doing, and they've delisted from online platforms like yours. Do you see the guys you sell, I mean your clients, as eventual competitors?
No, I do not see them as competitors. And I think with deep respect, they shouldn't think of themselves as competitors either. See, customers do not wake up in the morning to say, I want to buy insurance only from one company. Customers do not even wake up in the morning saying they want to buy insurance. So the big thing that Policybazaar is achieving is convincing a lot of people to get up in the morning and say, okay, let me explore insurance, let me research insurance, right? Now, if you don't want to be on that platform, absolutely your desire, but you don't gain anything by not being on the platform. You only lose, because the share that might have come to you, somebody else is taking that share. Customers are not missing any 1 or 2 or even 5 companies, because customers are coming to do research. If they don't find you on the platform, they'll just not. Maybe some customers, a fraction of those customers might think that, oh, that one particular, but think about it, then that's not how customers think. They don't come and say, oh, company X is the only company I want to be. If they were that sure, why would they come to Policybazaar in the first place? Right? It's a research platform. So we have a platform where customers come to purchase. It's a great place for companies to be. The cost of acquisition, they will themselves agree, is much, much lower than through any other means of acquiring customers directly. The second part is our claims ratios, because of our circumspect nature on this matter, are very much under control. And hence it's a profitable business for companies, which insurance does not have a limitation. It doesn't have a capacity limitation. So if you're getting profitable business, what's your problem? That usually it increases your direct business also, because if you're on the platform, why do I go on Google? Because people see Policybazaar on Google and they also come to Policybazaar directly the next day. So it also increases your direct. So I don't understand this. I think people have a misunderstanding of the situation. And what I would request, if anybody was to do genuine research, look at people who've been on Policybazaar and off Policybazaar and see who has been growing in their direct business. And if direct business genuinely grows without Policybazaar, it actually does not. So I think it's a futile ego trip, okay, if I was to use the word at best.
And you don't mince your words, do you, Yashish? Be careful. It doesn't help to make too many enemies in the ecosystem. But let me ask you one question. Since you said you don't wake up in the morning and want to buy insurance, a lot of the business, therefore, for what you said, is offline. What do you think is going to be the eventual online-offline mix? And as you start doing offline as well, as you're doing offline selling of insurance, how significantly could your business model change?
No, so I wanted to clarify. We don't scout for business offline. We only are willing to come to your house to convince you to purchase insurance if you started your journey online. So the get up in the morning and believe you need insurance is the first step. And that does need to happen, right? And I think that started to happen in a significant way. I think both Policybazaar as well as the insurance companies have done a lot of work in making sure that happens, that the customers come to our platform and go to the other platforms. And I would say today, almost 30% of the business perhaps, and I may be loose on this number, is somewhere online researched, offline purchased. And our offline, if you would think about it, is all about capturing that online researched, offline purchased market. That, you know, why would we restrict ourselves to only capture the online research and online purchase? We are also, or remote research, remote purchase, we are also willing to go and capture some of the share that we have created in offline closure, right? And I think no harm whatsoever in that. The market shares are shifting on a continuous basis. I would say historically, every 3 years, our market share has doubled. Now, I don't know what it will be in the future. As I said, I cannot make forward-looking statements. I have not yet seen signs of it slowing down, that rate slowing down. Maybe it will slow down, but still it will keep inching away at the market share. And I think online will have a larger and larger market share in the future. If you ask me today, I would say online closed and online researched is roughly about 12% of the market. But, you know, of course, depends on how you define market. If you're going to define corporate and, government contracts and all also as part of the market, then of course, a lot of that does not happen online.